Hi, my lovelies. So clinic day is coming to an end. It was a long day. Let's dose. This is dose number 2. Oops. On clinic day, and I have so much I need to talk to you about. We're going to try to do this as fast as possible, but I found out some really interesting information about California laws concerning methadone and another video that I made. So I think it's really important to talk about because I found out so much today. Cheers. So, let me get water. Okay, so there's a different nurse dispensing the methadone today. And just as I'm looking at him, thinking to myself, this dude looks so familiar. He turns to me and goes, "You look so familiar. Where do I know you from?" And then he's like, "Did you used to go to the Euclid clinic?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh." And he's like, "Yeah, I was the nurse there." I guess he was working there back in 2009. I wasn't even there yet in 2009, but I think then he would have been bringing me my jail dose. And then I started at the Euclid clinic in 2010 when I moved to City Heights. And so basically, long story short, he totally remembered me. I had a different last name because I wasn't married yet. But he totally remembered me and my old last name and everything. But we reintroduced ourselves because I was totally not sober, not even freaking close. So he was like, "It's nice to, meet you now." Because yeah, he was the guy bringing me my jail dose and all that kind of stuff. So totally different person now. I am a totally different person now. He looks the exact same. I don't think he's aged at all, and that's almost 20 years. But that was kind of amazing. Anyways, he gave me a lot of information because I was asking about the water having to be added to my dose. I had put in a request with my counselor to have water not added to my dose, and I found out today that it's not just a clinic policy. It is California state law that they have to add not just water but a certain amount of water, to which he doesn't know. He just kept saying it's state law, but we don't know why that's state law. But to do with the other stuff that I talked about in the comments of the other video, if you're on Facebook, it's the one pinned at the top. There was people telling me that, and I looked this up, and it's actually possible that if it isn't sterile water, if it sits long enough, bacteria can grow. If they add it to the dose and then seal it again, and a certain amount of time went by, it could grow bacteria to where that would affect the medication. But he reassured me that it would have to be a long time. The water they're adding is filtered water, and it would have to be a long time for that to occur. But yeah, state law, California state law says that, and I don't remember the exact amount, but it was something 2 teaspoons or something, or tablespoons. There's some amount that they have to add, not just add water, but they have to add a certain amount of water. And they can, I think, add more if you want, but they have to add a certain amount. So that's how mine ends up being so full. And I got all the dirt on that with the fact that it is state law. And so even with the request I put in, I cannot have water not added. They have to. The only way that they wouldn't have to, and there's one clinic, I guess, that does this, is it's a different kind of dispensing system. So instead of the nurse, at all the clinics in San Diego, Southern California, area that I know of and that he knew of, they add water. The nurses are the ones, pumping it. And it was an old way before where they actually had to pump it. But now they put it under a little thing, it dispenses it, they add a little bit of water, and then they seal it. But there's one clinic in Fashion Valley where they have a different dispensing system and the nurses are not dispensing it. It like dispenses itself, and so they don't have to add water because of that dispensing system. They just have it like pre-sealed. And I know there's a lot of people in the comments talking about that too, that like not understanding, because some clinics it comes like pre-dispensed. And so I thought it was really important to share this information because there's so many different ways. And like, this is something I never even thought about until I started reading on Facebook. There are over 100 comments. I don't even know what the number is now, but there are so many comments on that post pinned at the top of all the different experiences with water, not water, like why we'd want water, why we wouldn't want water. And it was just so interesting to like learn all of that. So I thought I would come and bring this information. I have to have water added to mine unless I wanted to switch clinics to like the one and only one where the machine is dispensing it and there's not a nurse dispensing it. But when the nurse is dispensing it, they are required by the state of California to add a certain amount of water, which is just like I have no idea. And that was the only thing that I couldn't figure out and get information on, is why does California do that? So if anybody knows that information, I would love to know this, because why do we have to have a water added? Like, because I have a friend who's in Arizona and I don't think that they add water there. And there's so many different people in the comments like talking about all the different experiences. And I know a lot of people, there is no water added. So it's so interesting. And I would love to know, why is that a state law? What, because I asked that, like, what is this? What is the water doing for us? Like, what is the reason? And no one knows. That was the only answer I couldn't get. So if you guys know, I would love to know, why do we have to have water? Any of my other like California people, San Diego people, does anyone know why that's a state law? Or like in other states, does anyone know like why your state doesn't? Because it's so crazy. And yeah, like the nurses will straight up get in trouble. They have to add water, and they have to add the filtered water. So I thought it was very important to say that. And it's very important to say that there's no risk, because I am so appreciative of anyone who's given me information. But never fear, there is nothing to worry about. There is no risk in the water being added, even though it's not sterile water, because I got a whole article and I put it in the comments. And there's no risk with non-sterile water being added because of the fact that we consume it within a month's time. It would have to be there for a long time to start accumulating bacteria, especially enough to like make the medication not work correctly, to like have any kind of effect on that. So that was like a whole like topic of discussion, and I wanted to put that, you know, to rest, that there is no like danger in that being added, in any kind of water being added. But I so want to know why they do it. Why is that law? I'm gonna be looking it up after this. Like, I need to Google this because I'm so curious. What is the reason that we have to have our bottles basically filled with water? Because so many people are like, oh my God, your dose is so high. And it's really not. I just dosed right now. That's 105 milligrams, which is not even on the high end. You know, I know people, and even myself, I used to dose at 260. And I mean, that was only one dose in a day instead of two, but still, like, I've heard of people being at like 300 or more. Like, everybody's body is different. So as far as like high dose is concerned, like 105 is like pretty low. But yeah, I get so many comments where people are just like, oh my God, that's so much. Like, it's really not. It has water. So anyways, we are going to go walk the doggies before bed. We're going to take a little nighttime walk and then go to bed and get up nice and early because tomorrow is beach day. Good night, my lovelies. Thank you for dosing with me. I love you all so much.